Xerxes is a good signing. I love the profile of the player. He's basically a replacement for Martial. That type of a player. The link up.
You think TEN HAG is still the right man for this new move, or do you feel that they just left him there? Because Van Nistelrooy was a good coach in PSV, and he did a very good job. I remember, I think they beat Arsenal 2 seasons ago in Europa. Also.
Almost every single Man U player is an international, except for maybe 1 or 2 French players. But even Garnacho finally made his
Transit TV, welcome back again. It's been a while, my people out there. Yes, just came back from California watching Manchester United and Arsenal in the preseason game. And back to the studios. Today we're going to look at United. We promised you this summer. We're going to look at these teams, what they are doing, and going into the new season. 3 weeks from now, the season will be on again. We'll go at it again. And with me today is my man Justice and the Bemsy to look at United, because for me, looking in from outside, I'm getting, as a rival fan, I'm getting worried about United because it looks like they begin to get it right. Guys, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Good to see you again, bro. Good to see you. Manchester United is currently navigating a very complex landscape of both opportunities and challenges. And like I said, starting with the 25% takeover of Sir Ratcliffe on the footballing side of things in United, and this was followed by some very astute and genuine move appointments at managerial level. Then they went ahead and returned Erik ten Hag after, for me, being turned down by some, priority targets. And this summer, they've made some very good signings. And for the first time in a while now, United is linked to some very good names out there in the market. Though, apart from the young Lenny Euro that came in, and there's one other player you guys signed, most of those big names or good names have not really come to fruition. I don't know, what do you guys think about it? Because for me, as a rival, I feel United is beginning to get things right. And that's a worry for a rival fan. But for a neutral, it's good for football because we need the big teams in England to start firing again to compete with other leagues in Europe. But before we go, our viewers out there, please don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so, if you are new here, and hit the like button. Ben, let me go with you. So what's your feel about this whole landscape, like I said, of opportunities and, again, challenges? I don't know which I want to take up. Is it the challenges or the optimism side of stuff, or the challenges? Which one is more of interest to you?
Well, I will just talk. I'll about. I'll talk about both, because the way, even though it looks like United supposedly they are looking like they're getting it right, I won't be too excited. I'm not one of those that's just gonna, United are back. No, just because we've implemented a proper structure, we have football people in place, which is good. But I'm not gonna just get excited. These are things that should have happened years ago. Should have happened, more than a decade ago, to be honest with you. So there are positives we can take from there, and then the signings are also positive. The fact that the way we've moved to make those signings is different, right? Mm-hmm. In the past, when you have John Morton and you had Richard Arnold, we're really slow with these deals. We took weeks upon weeks, but it seems like United are moving quicker just because they have people in the right place, right? So Xerxes is a good signing. I love the profile of the player. He's basically a replacement for Martial. That type of a player, a link up type player. Not necessarily not necessarily a player is going to spend all his time in the box. He's going to move around. He drops deep, which I think is going to be good for our attack. And Lenny Yoro, obviously one of Europe's like talents, coming up and coming talents. He was tipped to go to Real Madrid, which is typically Real Madrid are good at getting these talents at a young age, right? The fact that we got him over Real Madrid, that's a good sign. In the past, we wouldn't have won that race, right? But again, you got to give it time. You got to give it time to see what happens after this transfer window. You got to give it time to gel. Let's see, because it's not gonna. All these things are not just gonna, like, you're not gonna see results immediately. Like next season, I don't expect next season to be like United are challenging for anything, right? Come on, let's be real here. It took 10 years is basically 10 years of rubbish. So it cannot just fix itself within just one transfer window. So, but I'm optimistic. I feel better. We still need to get more signings in. There are a lot of players we need to get out. It's not just players in, players out. Getting players out has been a challenge for United because of their wages. It's been a big challenge. Yeah. So, yeah, no problem.
And that is me sorry to call each other. Justice then I want based on what he said, I've come to the conclusion that one of the hardest things to do for clubs is to rebuild squad. But we fans, we want results, so we don't care. But if you really look at it, it's not an easy thing to do for teams. The only thing that I think, let me even say two teams, but one I know that I've mastered it recently is Manchester City. They found a way to recreate their squad every year. I know they have resources, but it looks like they also have people who understand what it takes to rejuvenate their squad and who do not have a lot of emotional attachment to their players. Once it's time to let you go, regardless of what you have done for them, they let you go, they bring somebody else. The only player that they found difficult to do that with is KDB. And of course, a player of his quality and his contribution to the team is hard for you to rebuild. I know they're trying to use Foden now, but I don't think it's going to work. Real Madrid as well is another team that tries in doing that, but though they've been finding it difficult to replace people like Cruz and Modric. So having said that, how do you see, as a fan, what's going to be priority for you? Is it give the team time to rebuild this squad, the management team stands with this squad, or do you want immediate success? Because sometimes fans forget how difficult it is to do, like Benzi said right there, to rebuild this squad. Sometimes fans want immediate result, at the same time they want the rebuild. But most of the time, these two don't go together. So what do you think about balancing these two, immediate result and as well, rebuilding the team?
So when it comes to rebuilding Manchester United, I honestly don't think Manchester United is as deteriorated as a lot of people make it sound. Because let's not forget, at the end of the day, Manchester United is arguably the best club, or at least the most famous club in all of EPL, right? So it takes a special kind of player for you to don that jersey. The only thing is, in the back end, there has been some very, very bad characters that needed to be flushed out, and it seemed like the Ineos group are doing a great job. They've gotten Amabada from Man City, they've gotten Dan Ashworth from Newcastle, and these are clubs that in the most recent past seasons they've been doing very well. Mm-hmm. So for you to poach their top guys out of there and bring them to Manchester United, despite the fact that we're going through what we're going through, that speaks volumes to the project that you're selling to them, that they're believing in. Mm-hmm. And then also when you look at the people that are surrounding Ten Hag with, like you said, there were other coaches that were interviewed for that job and they turned us down. Tuchel was interviewed. I think De Zerbi or so. There's some other names that were linked to that managerial jobs that ended up turning us down. But if you look at everyone that has been brought in, at some point, either currently or in the most recent past, were head coaches, right? Ruud van Nistelrooy was a head coach for Feyenoord, if I'm not mistaken, and he was offered the Burnley head coaching position, but he turned it down to become an assistant coach. The other guy, Heke, if I'm not mistaken, was the head coach of Go Eagles. And this new guy that just joined us a few days ago was also a head coach. So these guys, for them to be head coaches and now coming into the backroom staff of Man U, that tells you they're going to be bringing a plethora of experience.
Yeah.
Now, the idea of rebuilding, Man U has a bunch of household name players that are just not firing properly. Almost every single Man U player is an international, except for maybe one or two fringe players. But even Garnacho finally made his Argentina debut in the Copa America. So I don't necessarily think it's a matter of rebuilding. I think it's a matter of getting the best out of the players that you currently have, right? Getting Rashford to score another 30, give us another 30 goal season. Getting Maino to fire at the highest level. Like, he's already showing his potential. Getting Luke Shaw to stay fit the whole season. Because once he stays fit, that guy is one of the best left backs that we have in the country. So Man U is getting there. The idea of an instant success, it's probably going to be a lot more difficult to achieve, considering that we just coming off one of the worst seasons in the history of Manchester United's history. But Manchester United are definitely going in the right position. They're signing some young talents. They want to go for Ugarte from PSG. They want to go for Delete. They want to go for they're getting Euro. They're getting Xerxes. These are all guys that are 25 and younger, which means that these guys are here to stay. They're here to stay for another 4 or 5 years, and they're only going to get better. So the idea of rebuilding, I think that's a very harsh word, because people look at Man U and they judge Man U based off of their past history, and they forget the fact that it's not just the players. There's been some bad characters in the backroom staff, like the John Mortars and the other guys that just needed to go, and they're getting rid of them now.
Okay, so just let me ask you this. I know your emotions already, but I don't know if you are saying that Bemsy can also jump in and do that when you finish it. I know your emotion about Ten Hag. Do you think Ten Hag is still the right man for this new move, or do you feel that they just left him there? Because Van Nistelrooy was a head coach in PSV, and he did a very good job. I remember, I think they beat Arsenal 2 seasons ago in Europa or so. And Arsenal United, I can't remember. Or do you think that they brought Van Nistelrooy to probably be understudy, maybe within the season, the hand might be fired and then Van Nistelrooy takes over? Or do you think that with what is going on now, probably going to give him better equipment to work with? He's going to have the success, because against Arsenal last week Saturday, 2 days ago, I saw some brilliant moves by United on Saturday. At least for the first 15-20 minutes, they pinned Arsenal down to their own half until Arsenal were able to figure it out and took over the game and won it eventually. So do you still feel what you feel about Ten Hag, or you think he probably get it right now that he has more people around him?
He has no choice. He has to get it right now. I still feel the same way about him. I still think he's not the right guy for Man U. If you realize there's this saying that they kept him. They didn't keep him. They settled for him, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because had they kept him,
that's why I said I don't think they wanted him.
Yeah, they didn't. Had they decided to keep him, they would have renewed his contract. Instead, what they did was they allowed him run down the original contract, which is 1 year plus an option for an extra year, which is what they did. And unfortunately, with these new coaches that are coming, like Ruud van Nistelrooy, they've only given him 2 years. So I think it's one of those things where they're saying, look, we've got this head coach that it didn't work out with. Now we're going to surround you with a bunch of guys that know what they're doing, but we're going to give you the same amount of time that you originally had, so that if it doesn't work out, everybody's leaving at the same time, right? I don't think it's a coincidence that they're giving him 2 years. It's not common for you to give a coach 2 years. Typically, it's 3 years and above. Mm-hmm. But they gave him 2 years. They gave the other guys 2 years. I think it's a situation whereby they're saying, look, Ten Hag, now you've been complaining. Now we're giving you everything that you need. And we're bringing a bunch of other coaches that actually know what they're doing, mm-hmm. and to help you. Now, if this doesn't work out, hopefully in the next 2 years, United would have gotten their stuff together to where there will be a more appealing club to the top coaches. right? And like you were saying about the game against Arsenal, one thing I noticed, United was way more aggressive. That did not feel like a preseason game for the first 20, 30 minutes. United was going in hard on the tackles. Both Gabriel's, Jesus and the defender, they were both complaining about how hard United was going. Yeah. And I don't think that came from Ten Hag. I saw Rashford smiling again. I don't think that came from Ten Hag. It's the coaches around him. Those are the ones that are doing this. So to answer your question in a very, very short form, no, Ten Hag is still not the right person for United. I don't know if there are that many people that agree with me. I don't know if I'm stepping on any toes. I don't know if I'm upsetting anyone out there, but I'm going to say with my full chest.
I mean, that's the opinion. I feel some way too, because even last Saturday I was interviewing Matisse, the big Chelsea fan, after the United Arsenal game. I don't know if you saw it on the channel. He said the same thing. He said he's still not sold on Ten Hag, and I feel as well the same way. But let me ask you just another way around on this same topic. Did you feel that the United management are being I don't want to put it now, smart with Ten Hag? Apparently, their priorities have said United has decayed this. We're not sure what you're doing. Let me see you for another one and see what you guys are doing. If you're serious about what you're saying, maybe we can talk again. Do you think so? Or maybe there's a coach that they've spoken to that is not available now, maybe available in the next, maybe club or whoever that is not available now, but willing to come a year or two from and say, okay, Ten Hag, you know what? Just hang on until we get our right guy.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I disagree with you guys. Just off the top, I think Ten Hag is the right man for the job right now. I'm not saying he's the best manager in the world, but right now he's the best man for the job. I think Ten Hag has done quite a bit in the past two seasons for someone to win back-to-back trophies. There's no other manager has done that. So let's get that cleared out right there. Ten Hag has been working in a system, in a club that had no structure, just like every other manager. Mm-hmm. Ten Hag has been working with players that have been at the club through 3 managers. I don't know how you expect a manager to be successful when you're not able to clear out players, right? Look at Klopp, look at Pep. When they got into City and Liverpool, they were able to shape that squad. They were able to get rid of players. United have not been run properly for over a decade. There is no manager on this planet, and I'll say with my chest, no manager can be successful in such a regime. Not possible. So it's going to take time, like I said, to clean all these things out. I mean, one thing that I've seen about Ten Hag is that, I mean, I'll say this, the football we were playing last season was terrible. I'm gonna say that was terrible. But again, right? When you talk about tactics, the guy's a tactical guy. Let's get that clear. He is. The players have said it. So we talk about getting coaches to come and help you. Come on, let's be real out here. When Fergie was manager, Fergie wasn't doing the sessions himself. It was not. You can ask players, or you can listen to what players have said. Fergie was not running the sessions. It was his coaches. And Fergie had a good habit.
But what I'm saying is that these coaches are being head coaches on their own. Fergie, the Wenger, all these people, they bring people who have always been assistant to different systems to work under them. But when you can bring managers who are first team coaches, like Van Nistelrooy was coaching PSV. He only retired. He only resigned last 2 seasons ago to get some rest. So it's not like he's an assistant coach. You know,
but at the same time, Van Nistelrooy, if you ask me, is not ready to be a head coach of a big club. What has he done? What has he won? Let me ask you. What has he won? What is in his trophy cabinet? No. It's a simple question. It's a simple question.
It's not necessarily all about trophies. It's not. It's not about trophies, though.
But I'm sorry, right?
Did he win?
If you want,
I can't remember now. Remember he came second. I think he won the Dutch. I can't remember.
I don't know if he won. I don't know if he won, right? I'm not saying Van Nistelrooy I'm not saying Van Nistelrooy is not a good coach. He is, right? But Ten Hag has won. He's won the Dutch league multiple times. The Eredivisie multiple times. You guys mentioned you mentioned Van Nistelrooy, right? Playing doing well in the Champions League. Ten Hag did the same. He did won the Champions League with Ajax a few years ago when he went all the way to the semi-finals against Spurs, right? So he did the same. He equally did the same. So I don't see anything different as far as CV wise, or I don't see anything better CV wise that Van Nistelrooy has over Ten Hag. Ten Hag has a better CV. Let's put that right there.
Sorry to cut him, but you made it sound like the trophies. You said he won back-to-back trophies, right? That no other coach has done this. So now let me ask you a question.
Since Fergie.
Since Fergie. Arteta, since he came into Arsenal, has only won the FA Cup. Every other cup.
Wait. Let me clear that up. He won the FA Cup with Unai Emery's squad, not his squad. He had not done jack nothing.
Okay.
Let me land on this question.
Eric Ten Hag
let me land on my question.
Coaching the team 2 full seasons. Let's be clear there.
So let me land.
Go ahead.
Land on my question. Okay. So you're saying that Eric Ten Hag won two trophies with his squad coaching 2 full seasons, and Arteta won with Emery's squad. So pretty much you're even making the win. You're trying to mitigate the win and make it even less. What's the word I'm looking for? Make it less as important as it ought to be. So that's even that's even playing into my question. So are you trying to tell me now that based on the football that Arteta is currently playing with Arsenal, that it's comparable to the football that Eric Ten Hag that has won back-to-back trophies is playing?
I just told you that I don't like the football Eric Ten Hag played last season.
No, but that's what it's all about, though.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I get that, right? I get that. But to me, I'm sorry, right? I want both good football and I want trophies, right? Okay. Now, if you're not giving me both of them, you're out.
So if you're not much rather someone just gives you the trophies and doesn't give you good football.
I never said so.
Okay.
I just said I want both, right?
Okay.
And if you're not giving me either one of them, right? I'm not seeing the football. I'm not seeing the improvement as to like where we're going. I'm not seeing any trophy. Like it's pretty much even worse. Then you gotta go. But with Ten Hag, I'm sorry, right? For a manager to go through all what he's going through at that club, go through the media scrutiny, to go through the sale of the club. I don't know how many clubs that have gone through a sale and all the question marks in the background, right?
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, everything you went the Jadon Sancho stuff. Injuries.
Right.
United has had the most injuries in the past couple seasons, right? The most injuries back to back, and the guy still won a freaking final of FA Cup, the second best trophy in English football, and beat the best team in England to win that trophy, and played good football on that very day where we won the FA Cup.
I'm glad you said on that very day, because you and I both know that was a Cinderella run. The game against Liverpool, we won that game by the skin of our teeth. All right.
Well, we played it hard. The FA Cup, it was hard.
If the FA Cup was not a tournament style game or tournament style trophy, you and I both know that United would not have gotten as far as they did.
I totally agree, because
you don't come 8th in the league with a negative. You don't come 8th in the league with a negative goal difference and win the FA Cup and say that you accomplished something. No, you survived, and you just happen to be the better team on that particular day. Now, when you look at the style of football, Liverpool beat Chelsea with a bunch of teenagers. Did you watch the game, the Chelsea versus Liverpool game in FA Cup, where it was a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds? And did you see the way Liverpool played that game? They still played the same. It seemed like as if I was still
okay, but
watching
again,
Salah.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry to cut you off, right? Because Jurgen Klopp, right, has been at that club. He has been at that club for how many seasons? Like 7 years. He's had time to implement his style of play. He's had time to recruit his players. He's had time to show, like, to basically to set his footprint at that club. He's had time. Ten Hag has not. You cannot compare what Jurgen Klopp is working with versus what Ten Hag. Every manager has not worked with a proper structure. United.
Let me get your point. So, are you saying, is your point, give Ten Hag time, let's see what he has, or you're convinced that
my point is, right? Give Ten Hag a chance under a proper structure. Just like if it's any other manager, I would say give them time give them an opportunity under a proper structure, and let's see what he does. What I want to see this next season is good football, right? If I'm still seeing the same type of football that I'm seeing by end of next season, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, it's time to switch this around. It's time to move on. But I need him to give.
Would you still say the same?
If he goes and win FA Cup and still play the same way.
No, I don't. I'll put it this way, right? I do not believe United will play the same way. I'll tell you this, right?
No,
the reasons why. Wait. I'll say this. I'll say there's no way. I'll give it to you this way, right? If United are able to make proper signings this summer, right? If we're able to get a midfielder, if we're able to get another centre back, if we're able to get a fullback, right? If we're able to, and also if we're able to get rid of a few more players, I will say this: I believe United will play better than last season. United has to get. It's not about recruitment.
I hear you. Let's not.
There is no way United will play the same way last season.
Let me get to something. But Justice, remember before off record, I was telling you. I hear all the names that is mentioning. I've not seen any team that signed up to 7 first team players or starting 11 players in a summer that he worked.
Yeah.
So all these players are mentioning, if you get a guy sign new left back, new right back, 2 center backs, 1 midfielder, 1 striker, and put all these players in the starting 11, bro, I guarantee it's not going to work. It has never worked before because they need when teams are rebuilding teams. You get like 3 or 4 in a summer, first team players, implement it. Maybe January go for 1 more. After then next summer you go again. Nobody goes to buy 7, 8 players in 1 summer and bring them together in 1 team.
I never said 7, 8 players. 1 and 2. You have to get rid of players. No. I never said 7, 8 players. Okay. But if you remember what I said, I said going like outgoings is as important as incomings. If you keep if you keep a lot of the players that you have, right, especially the players on high wages, those players need to leave. You need to get a lot of the.
I agree.
You need to get players that don't fit the style of play. Maguire does not fit the way Ten Hag wants to play. Lindelof does not fit the way Ten Hag wants to play. These players need to go. Wan-Bissaka does not fit the way Ten Hag wants to play.
For me, Maguire is a conundrum because, to be honest, in difficult time, Maguire.
Let's not get all sentimental here, man.
No, I'm talking about this is the just pass. This is the just pass. You remember when you had injuries, they had to play.
Yeah. He's coming and done well. He's coming and done well, yeah. But that doesn't mean that he needs to stay.
So we're good to have you on the show. Sorry, bro. Thank you for coming. I know it was a very, very short notice. I forgot to send you the link since morning. Good to have you. I was asking the guys right now with all these implementations behind the scenes, the managerial appointments, Van Nistelrooy and these other coaches coming to help Ten Hag, and with the trophy that he won last season or in the last 2 seasons, are you sold on him right now? Are you willing to go with Ten Hag? Is he the right man for the job, or do you think if there is availability of proper other coaches or better coaches, they should go ahead and let him go?
Well, I'm not sold on Ten Hag, but as of last season under what's that guy's name, Woodward and everybody, I wanted Ten Hag to go because I just felt like it wasn't going to work. But now that we have a better structure in place, I'm willing to give him 1 season, another season to show us what he's made of. Remember, this guy did well under a good structure at Ajax with Overmars and Van der Sar. I'm hoping that with a better structure here, he can work. And for me, this season, I'm not looking for the league. I have three things I'm asking for from United: better football, better gameplay, higher table finish, and just make top 4. I'm not expecting to win the league, but the key thing is better football, better structure in our team, top 4. I would like UEFA if we can, I'm not bothered about FA Cup or Carling Cup because we already have that. But if we can add UEFA, even top 4, I don't see why we can't make top 4. But I'll put this clause there though. We need to get 3 or 4 other more signings. We need to get 2 midfielders, a right back, and if possible, another creative guy, which I don't think we'll get, but at least 2 midfielders and a better right back. And then I think we have a good chance of playing better football and making top 4.